I was standing there, and them bees, I had on blue and blue work breeches like you fellas wear to the mines. I had on a pair of them, and I had on brown boots. You couldn't see my boots nor my breeches for up to my knees for them yaller jackets. That's how many of that was on me. And I was standing there, and I'd parted a bunch of them big old tall water weeds around, get some little orange flowers on them, they'd get about that tall.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people call them water weeds, but they're wild equinox out there. I've been standing there parting down them old chigger, what they call chigger weeds part, looking down under them for sign. Cause that sign wasn't about that tall, and them old weeds was like that. I've been finding some. I'd step down under the hill there, down on the edge of the mountain, parting them weeds around. And I got down there and I was standing there. I'd just take that old stick and kind of just push them weeds around where I could look.
Mm-hmm.
I was just taking my time, starting I was standing there. I started to move on down the hill a little bit. When I started to move, the Lord spoke to me and said, "Don't move." And it's like this right there. It's just like I froze in my tracks right there. And I was standing there. And the Lord told me to look down. I said, "Lord, I can't." I just knowed I was standing right on a big rattlesnake or something. Because the ground was kind of soft anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, "Lord, I can't." I stood there a few minutes and I thought, "Well, Lord, I'll tell you one thing, I can sure pray." But I said, "I can't look down." And I started praying. And I stood there and prayed a few minutes. And then the Lord said, "Now," said, "if you'll just look down." Said, "You need to look down." When I looked down, buddy, there was all them yellow jackets. I'd never seen so many yellow jackets in my life. And I said, "Oh, Lord." And I was scared to move then. And I was standing there, and I told the Lord, this is what I told the Lord. I said, "Lord, if all these bees sting me, I'll never make it out of these mountains." I said, "I'll die in these woods." I said, "I'll never make it out here." I said, "If I've ever needed you to come by in my life in a hurry, this is one time." And when I said that, I kind of raised my eyes up. I seen a big old beautiful set of white hands. They was just like his. The Lord said, "Cup your hands and rake them off," said, "You'll be okay." And I stood there for a minute. I looked down. I said, "Well, Lord, I ain't got no other choice but, I'm going to have to depend on you." I just reached down there and started raking them off. I raked them things off with wads. They was laying on the ground in wads. You'd rake them off and they'd be like a wad of maggots laying there working with each other. And I brushed every one of them off my boots and everything. Stood right there, brushed them all off on the ground, turned around, walked back up the hill, got out of them. But it's like, after I seen that big old white set of hands come up, it's like it built my faith to where that I would believe that he was right there.
Right.
I've had all kinds of things like that to happen.
Thought it was going to bite my toe, but it did.
Sometimes I think he lets you get him to fix it sometimes so he can get you in line.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, you'll be like maybe wavery or something. He'll build your faith.
One got you at the top, you said too, didn't it? One of them yellow jackets got you at the top.
Yeah, my brain felt like they were going to fall that far along, dude, just one of them.
Tell her what you done though, what you said.
the devil showed up and said, "You just lucky this time." That's what the devil said to me.
Yeah.
And anytime that you do something that's pleasing to the Lord, the devil, you know how he does. He starts.
Yeah. That's the truth.
And it's like I was standing there fighting with him,
Mm-hmm.
arguing with him. The devil himself. And this is what I said. I said, well, maybe I am lucky. You know, that's all I said. And that didn't bit more fall out of my mouth. That bee thumped me right there in the back of the head right there. And I'll tell you what's the truth, my brain felt like it's going to come out of my head before I got home. Because I had a big long walk way back yonder where I was at. I guess I'd say it's 2 miles back there where I was at. And no sooner than that bee stung me, the Lord, this is what the Lord said. He said, "There ain't no such word as luck." Said it's me or nothing. Just like people holler, "Oh, I'm lucky." I'm gonna say, "No, you ain't lucky." I said, "That word right there comes straight from hell. There ain't no such word. That's the devil's word.
It's the truth.
Luck is."
Mm-hmm.
Because that word ain't in God's vocabulary, I'll tell you that. It'll get you in trouble.
Yeah.
It's like this, these fellas handling these snakes and stuff. All they got to do, if the Lord tells them how he wants them to handle that snake, all they got to do is do one wrong move with that snake and they're bit.
Mm-hmm.
You better make sure you follow his directions precisely if you have to pick one up.
Yeah.
Because you don't, you'll be in trouble.
God, it scared me.
She took her runs, man.
Shut up, John. That jerk plum in your lap. That give me a heart. Jump start my heart.
Start.
Just over here.
You better get it. You better get it.
What was that time that you come out and you like, it was like you flew?
Come up out of his.
Come up
That
at
door
you.
in that old house right there.
Tell me about that.
Well, I won't tell you the people's names.
No, don't. No, you never did tell me, but I think it's awesome.
I'd been to church one night,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd been doing pretty good for about a week. And I mean, I felt like, son, I was way up here. And
No, I'm okay. You want one?
Yeah, right.
I told the Lord, I've been telling the Lord, I'd say, "Lord, while I'm feeling this way,"
Thank you.
because it was like I was to lift it up spiritually and stuff. It's like that I couldn't think of nothing for myself. You know, it's just like, everything was going so good. I began to tell the Lord, "Lord, while I'm feeling like this, just, help me to, is there somebody you want me to pray for, that needs help?"
Right.
And I've been praying that way. So we went to church that night, and I was sitting there on church house seat. Well, this woman, she got up. She began to say things. It was like she was testifying or whatever. And it sort of bothered me in a way to start with. because, you know, she spoke in tongues and everything. And, but she was boasting. She would boast. You know, I this, I that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was sitting there. And this is what the Lord said. I hadn't thought about what I'd been telling the Lord, you know, give me, you know, who would you have me to pray for while I'm, you know, like this, who needs help? He hadn't ever let me know nothing.
Right.
But I was sitting there on the seat and got to boasting like that. He said, right there's you one. Said, you'll need prayer. I was, okay, Lord, you know. It went on a little bit. The church went on. And it was getting on down close to the end of service. And this man started. Oh, he cut him shine. I'm sitting there. The Lord started saying, this ain't my spirit. I said, this is not I. I think, oh, Lord. He kept on, you know. I guess he fooled around there 20 minutes. That guy did. And the Lord said, right there's your nothing to pray for her. I said, okay, Lord. Well, church was over. Finally, we come home. We all got ready to go to bed. I went there. I always, before I went to bed, you know, I'd take time out and pray a little bit before I went to bed. I prayed a little bit. I hopped into bed. I didn't much more than get laid down, covered up, ready to go to sleep. The Lord spoke to me and said, get up and pray. Said they need prayer. I said, okay. I got up and I got down beside the bed. I got down there and prayed for a pretty good while. And I got back up. Got back in the bed. The Lord moved on me to pray for him some more. I said, oh, Lord. So I went ahead and prayed for him. I prayed till I went to sleep. Well, next morning, it wasn't even daylight. My eyes popped open, and I felt like I'd been in bed for 2 days. I really felt good that morning. I crawled out of that bed. I said, well, I might as well get up. I'll never go back to sleep. I'll just get up. I got in there and got my Bible, laid it on the table, went over there, got my coffee pot, fixed everything up, and I fooled around there and made me a cup of coffee. I walked over and set that coffee down on the table. I was sitting there. The Lord said, you need to go pray. I ain't even touched up that coffee or nothing. I said, okay, Lord, I will in a minute. Well, I opened my Bible up. I just set it up on the table and made it fall open. And that's the way I'd read of the morning. I didn't have no markers in it. I just set it up on its back, and turn it loose, and wherever it fell open to, I'd sit there and read a while. I set my Bible up, or it fell open, and it fell open to the Psalms, is where it fell open to. I'd sit there and I'd read that top line. You know how you read one line at a time. I'd read that line. I'd drop down that next, and I couldn't remember what the top one said. It's like, man, what in the world's wrong with me? The Lord said, you need to go pray. Well, I'd try to read again. You know how you are.
Mm-hmm.
Lord, am I losing my stupid mind? You know, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I done him that way, I guess, half a dozen times probably. I might have took a sip of that coffee during the whole time I was sitting there doing that. And I'd try it again, the same old thing. I'd read 3 or 4 words, and before I'd pick up on that next line, read it, I forget what the top one said.
Right.
My goodness. I ain't got no mind or something. Finally I stood up, and I said, Lord, I'm losing my mind or something. I need you to help me. And the Lord said, you need to go pray. And this is what I done. I just said, okay, Lord, I'm going. So I just left everything laying there. I come in there in the living room. We had a love seat. It sat over there this way against that fur wall there in the living room beside of that big window. That's where I prayed at all the time, the other morning. I went in there. I just said, okay, Lord, I'm going. I realized then, it's him moving on me to go pray. That's what he's wanting me to do. I went in there, but no sooner than I knelt down, got down on my knees there at that love seat, no sooner than I bowed my head. I felt my soul slip out of my body. I mean, it's just like it come right out. And I was looking at myself. It's just like I just come out of myself, just like I was there, knelt down. It's just like I slid out of myself. And it's like I started floating up. And as I floated up, I just flattened out, straightened out.
Mm-hmm.
Right out that window I went, right through the glass. The window wasn't open, it was closed. I went right through that glass. No sooner than I cleared that glass, the Lord took me where He wanted me to go. I could feel the air blowing in my face. It's just like my hair was blowing back on my head. And He took me and set me on them people's windowsill. And showed me a whole lot of things. I watched that woman leave her old man and everything. I mean, there was a lot of stuff going on. And during the time that he was showing me, I was on the outside of their window, and they was like, like this was their house.
Mm-hmm.
Their kitchen and their living room was all one big long room.
Mm-hmm.
The stove was sitting in about the middle ways of the room, that way. That was their kitchen. And I was up on the windowsill in their living room, where is the living room window.
Mm-hmm.
But the porch was over here where you come out on the porch. And I was on that windowsill, and that man, he was giving them to that woman and her aunt. I was saying he was really letting them have it. And anyway, he walked over to that stove, and he turned around and started walking back towards me. And his eyes looked like 2 balls of fire. He had the awfulest look on his face. And I said, oh, no. And I can remember doing like this, trying to pull back, trying to hide from him. The Lord said, you don't got to hide from him. I said, he can't see you. I said, you can see him. He showed me what he wanted me to see and what he wanted me to know. And he said, okay, it's time to go back. I just hopped off that windowsill and away I went. Come right back through that glass. I set my body still knelt down right there where I left it. I went and come back through that window, settled right down, back down beside my body. It was just like sticking a card in the middle of the deck. I can talk about that and it's like electricity right all over my body. And you know what? Everything you showed me, it come past.
I love that.
Ida's daddy showed me about Ida's daddy. It unfolded just like you showed me. Right to the T. The shape I seen that old man in, that day laying over on the bed one Sunday, I seen him that way in her bed down there on 30. Big sweat bubbles on his head, looked like he was as big as the end of my finger right there. He was an awfulest pain there was. Donnie McLean, Brenda McLean's old man, sent me to him. I've never called him, but when I did catch him, wow. I talked to him, told him what I felt like the Lord had taught my heart, and he wanted me to say. I started to put my shoes on, walk out, fixing to leave. It was about 1 o'clock in the night. I had them, remember them boots you used to get, you slip them on, zip them upside? I had a pair of them. And I'd slip my feet in them, and I'd pick my foot up to reach down and pull that zipper up. I stand there, zip my boots, fixing to leave. Buddy, I reached down to get that zipper when I did. It was just like heaven come down. I told him, I said, oh boy, I said, if you ever thought about praying, I said, you need to pray. I said, there's something coming your way. And I said, you'll definitely need the Lord when it gets here. He just sat there and froze up on me, wasn't talk, nothing. I said, well, I said, you don't want to pray. I said, I guess I better get on out of here. I left. The next morning, about 8 o'clock, he had a heart attack. His wife was sitting on the other end of the room.
Mm-hmm.
And he was sitting up here, and she was sitting down there. When that come down, she even felt it. She started speaking in tongues and everything. She said him and her sitting up there one day after he kind of got over that heart attack, son. He was still in bad shape. Wasn't hardly able to get out and go nowhere or nothing. Said he was sitting up there one day. She noticed him every day, said he'd sit in there and said, she thought he was watching TV for a long time. She said he'd done that for a long time. Said he'd go every day. She'd catch him. What it was, I'd get out and work about 3 o'clock. That's when we quit at 3 o'clock in the evening. And I'd come through up there, it'd be about 3:30, 15 to 4. And he'd be sitting there watching, like the TV sitting in front of the window. He'd have TV turned on, but he was sitting there watching. I was. Said, she got kind of noticed him sitting there. Said, he got to where he'd say, there goes Denny down the mountain. She's going home from work. Brenda said, I always thought he was watching TV up to then. She said, then I began to realize he's watching fuel truck go by. She said he was sitting there one day. said he'd done that for a month and a half. Said, he was sitting there one day. She said she'd fixed food, said she fixed him plates. Said, your old man said, I'll just bring you a plate in here so you'll never get up and go to the kitchen. Said he was sitting there and said he was kind of lost, toward that road. Brenda said, she looked at him. What are you doing, watching for Denny every day to go by? He said, yeah. I usually notice him when he goes by. She said, oh. Said, a few minutes said he sat there, said, he looked at her and he said, this is what he said to her. He said, said, I really like old Denny. He said, got a lot of confidence in him. And said, I like to see him coming. But he said, in a way, he said, I dread him.
He's a sight, though.
Brenda said, well, why do you dread him? He said, well, it just kind of scares me. In other words, what he was trying to say, it's,
Yeah.
if he tells you something, it's going to happen. If the Lord let him know something,
Mhm.
he tells you it's going to happen.
Right.
I've seen fellas in church, preachers and stuff. I don't agree with it. They'll say, you need to mind the Lord just as quick as he moves on you. You don't sit there and hold it. Said you need to mind him right then. I don't agree with that. You better sit there and you make sure it's the Lord.
Mhm.
Because the devil's smart. He knows they can get you in the middle of a mess, running you, your church, and everything else in your.
That's the truth.
I ain't gonna jump and run to nothing. If it takes the Lord busting my tail, he'll just have to bust my tail. That's all I can say. 'Cause I ain't gonna do it. That's the wrong time to do it.
Mhm.
You need to sit there and you can find out for sure. At least that long.
Mhm.
And it's like this right here. If it's the Lord, if you're sitting there and you put you out of fleece, your fleece will come back in just a second or two. It won't take it long.
Mm-mm.
Because it's like this right here. I know with some things that the Lord has taught my heart He wanted me to do. I think, well, Lord, how am I going to know when? Or how am I going to know? And He's always worked it to where I was right on time. See, His timing and our timing ain't the same.
Mm-mm.
Because if He gives you something and you run before time, that's like the two messengers. One waited, the one got the message and took it, and the other wanted to go and went, and he forgot to get the message before he went. So which one of them you think's going to be best off?
Mhm.
Yeah. But anyway, a feller's a lot better to take his time. That's like Ida, when I told Ida about what the Lord had showed me about her daddy. I thought, oh God. He didn't even know me to tell her, and there she was. She was already tore all to pieces. I thought, well, Lord, if I tell her something like that, I'm going to finish her off.
Mhm.
And I wasn't going to tell her. I hurried up and brought me a cup of coffee. I'm going to leave. I walked over to the sink to set the cup up on the sink. The Lord said, if you leave here, without doing what I bid you do, said much will you suffer. You know what I done? Alexa got coffee for her. Got coffee. I went over there and I sat down at the table, and I was sitting there, and I told the Lord, I said, "Now, Lord, if this is really you moving on me, and you want me to tell her today, I said, you're going to have to come by here somehow. You're going to have to let me know. For sure.
Mm-hmm.
If you want me to do it." And I sat there a few minutes and I said, "Well, Lord, this is my place." I said, "If this is you moving on me, and you want me to tell her," I said, "you let her know that you taught my heart something." I didn't much more than leave my brain. Ida looked at me. This is what she said. You ever hear the old saying, curiosity kills a cat?
Mm-hmm.
I said, yeah, I've heard that before.
Mm.
She said, well, I know the Lord's taught you something. I said, I don't know what it is. She said, I don't know what he taught you. I said, you show her now, Ida? And she said, yeah, I want to know everything he taught you. I said, all right. I cut loose and told her what the Lord had showed me. And I knowed he was going to die. I did. I knowed he was leaving here. I told her. I said, you've done all you can do for your mom and daddy. I said, you're going to have to give them to God and let God have his way. That was on a Wednesday or a Thursday or something.
I can't remember.
Anyway, that Sunday morning, I sat there and I probably forgot about it. After I told her that, it's like you set that truck off my back out there. She come in that Sunday morning, and I thought she was acting odd. She come walking up through there and she go, just wave at people. She wasn't stopping. She just waved at them go on. And usually think she'd shake their hand. Go through and shake everybody's hand. She come up there and went straight across to her. She come me. She come over there. I stuck my hand out and she leaned her head over to my ear. She said, I done this morning what you told me to do. I said, huh? She said, remember what you told me about Dad and Mom? To lay them on the altar and give them to God? I said, yeah. She said, well, I done it this morning. She said, pray for me that the Lord let me be willing to leave them there. I said, well, Ida, if you put them on there, I said, whatever you do, don't take them back off there. I said, you better leave him on there and not take him back off there. Because when I told her, the Lord told me, he said, you tell her to put them on the altar and leave them there and not to take them off, lest they die lost. That's what the Lord told me right over there in that bedroom. She put him on the altar on Sunday. Monday evening, he was down in his hip. By the time I come home from work, he cut grass and everything that day. Diane and her went up there to check on him. When I got home, Diane said, Ida's coming up to get me. Said, something happened to Joe today. Said, they don't know. Said, something out about his hip or something. Said, she's wanting me to go up there with her. I said, well, go ahead. And no sooner than I said, go ahead like that, the Lord spoke to me and said, this is my hand moving. And sure enough it was, because it wasn't what, 3 days he couldn't even get up and get around with it.
Today.
5 weeks. It's 5 weeks and a few days or something. It wasn't long. It was between 5 and 6 weeks. We was planting him up there on the mountain. That's how quick it took him away. took him to the doctor and they done some tests on him. Went back to get the results on tests. That doctor took her in the room. I told her all that the Lord showed me. How he showed me it. And that doctor explained to her down there about that cancer. She said, he didn't explain it just exactly in words like you put it, but said it was the same thing. Said he talked about it being quick and fast. I was laying there and it's just like somebody turned TV on. I was laying there praying with my eyes closed. It was on Sunday. After Sunday school, I'd come home. I took Diane to her mom's, her and the kids. And I did. I'd worked pretty hard that week. I told Diane, I said, I'm going to go to the house. I said, I'm going to lay around and rest. I said, is there something you want to do? And she said, look, you want to lay down and rest? And I'll just take you and go to Mom's. I took them home. Took them, her mom and them over an hour. Come home. I lay down on the bed. I thought, well, I'll pray a little bit before I go to sleep. And I was laying there. And just like somebody turned TV on. I could see Ida's daddy. I could see his face from here up. And from here down to his belt, I could see the inside of him. I could watch his heartbeat and everything. And I began to see a little bitty white spot. Your guts is white anyway. Your insides, you know, like your guts and stuff. But I began to see a little bitty tiny dot. And it stood out above everything in there. It was just a little speck. And my eye caught it. I was laying there looking inside of it. And my eye caught that little speck. And once my eye caught that little speck, I thought, well, reckon why that's so white like that to myself. It just started swelling up. Next thing I know, it got pretty good size. And it went like that right there, and when it did, it slung them dots. It's like little specks all over up in here. And they just come floating down through there. One of them would stick here and there and yonder. And I'd lay there and watch them, and they'd do the same thing. And every time one of them would blow up and bust, it looked like he was in that much more pain. I laid there and watched some man, watched his face. He'd make off his faces. And on the last, I seen them big sweat beads start popping out on his forehead. And you could tell he was in agony.
Yeah.
And it's just like, all of a sudden, he's gone. Just like that. A few minutes, same thing happened on his island. She was down on her knees and had her hands like this praying. And the Lord started talking to me about her. And you know what he told me? He said, this one's prayers hinders me from doing what I need to do. In other words, he wasn't going against her. What she was asking for. And that's when he told me, he said, you tell this one to be willing to give them to me and to quit praying for her.
Yeah.
And ask my will to be done. Lest they die lost. Which it took some doing for Ida now. To lay them on the altar and watch all that happen. But if she hadn't, Joe had it made up in his heart to kill a feller. And when the Lord first started working with me, he showed me Joe's heart one day, and it looked like a railroad gravel. That's what it looked like. You know, that gray speckled and stuff in the gravel, that's what his heart was. In other words, I guess he's like Flint or something. His heart was hard. But the Lord had a way of busting that old hard heart. That's the way, that's the reason it come his way. You know, you look around, you'll see people out at you around and stuff a lot. And if you pay close enough attention, you can see the hardness of their heart. You can tell they're hard-hearted.
Mm-hmm.
It's like people, like greed will get in your heart.
Mm-hmm.
These people has got a big lot of riches and stuff on this earth. And if they ain't careful, them riches will cause their heart to be hard. In other words, they'll stand against people that ain't got much. They'll down people that ain't got much. And stuff like that. And where if they do the right thing, they would try to help them people that ain't got much to have a little better. If they get their heart right. But see, through their greed and the hardness of their heart, they won't. They're against them. They're just the opposite of what they need to be.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bad thing to do. And then when, I believe a lot of times, you've seen people that's really, really suffered terribly bad before they left church. I just wonder sometimes if that ain't the way the Lord's got to maybe getting them ready.
Mm-hmm.
That's something I never want. I don't never want no hard heart.
Mm-mm.
But if you ain't careful, through having a good heart, when you begin to see somebody is hard-hearted, if you ain't real careful, you'll rejoice that they being pulled down if you ain't real careful. And that's wrong too.
That's the truth.
I don't know, I've been reading some in Job and Nehemiah and them books. You ever read them? I've got a lot out of them books. It'll sort of make you ponder your path you walk.
Mm-hmm.
Cause Job, if you get studying much in Job, you find out that pathway to heaven's a real narrow way. It's a narrow path. It's gonna take some doing to get there. Sure will. And you look at people all the time, and you think, my goodness, Lord, where's their mind? Because they can do anything they want to do, and they're still, you know, like going. And every time you see them, they're like they're on cloud nine or something, shouting and hopping around going on. You think, my goodness. And then the devil will turn around, if you ain't careful, say, said you're just foolish. Said you ain't got sense enough to serve the Lord. That's what he'll tell you. Said look at them. Said they don't live like you live. Said they enjoy their life. Said they're living like you're supposed to. Said it's just you. Said you want to judge them. That's what he'll say. And when you're sitting there thinking, I can't do that.
Right.
Because of what the word says. You know, the Lord's put it in your heart, hey, you can't do this. Because I've seen some people before, by picked up telling a lie, they'll spit you one right out there. They don't care a bit they.
I know. Down at the funeral home once, Pert was down there. I don't know if it's when Jeannie's mom died or one of them. And somebody said, would you lie for me, keep me out of trouble? Told Pert. Pert said no. He claimed to be a Christian. He said no, but I would sure lie for myself to get out of trouble. They say he lives in Walnut now in a trailer. Pert does.
I don't know nothing about him. I don't care nothing about being around him.
Jeannie, she moved to Flatley down towards Barboursville.
Who?
Jeannie was seeing Melvin, not seeing Melvin, but seeing Pert. Used to be my sister-in-law,
Oh,
Bobby's mom. She moved down to, she retired from nursing and moved down to Flatley.
now Laurel County, or Knox County.
Yeah, I'd say, yeah.
That's where Flat Lake is,
Yeah.
Knox County.
Yeah. I guess her daughter lives down there.
Every time I get around Perd or something, they start a bunch of old filthy talk or something other. Last time I seen Perd was up there on Crane Street. I guess it's been probably 10 years ago, I guess. 8 or 10 years ago. Me and Floyd was up there and they started that old stuff. I told Floyd, I said, buddy, I gotta go. That's what I gotta get. Floyd said, oh, well, you can't pay no attention then. I said, buddy, I don't even like to be around nobody talking like that. I said, that's foolish.
Mm-hmm.
Pete said that if y'all had some kind of little breakfast set extra or something, she'd trade you that treadmill for it.
I ain't got one. Only one I got's mine.
I told her I didn't think y'all had one.
It's furniture and stuff you buy anymore. Don't last long enough.
Mm-mm.
Usually thing 2 or 3 years, you have to
Mm-mm.
throw it in garbage and come back and another.
We've had that for, oh gosh. How many years? That chair we give you, the kids is little. About that, the couch or the chair.
That breakfast sitting at
Hutch.
Hutch and I bought them
Did you
first.
see Denny's home interior birds, Stacy?
What?
Home interior birds.
Home interior birds.
Uh-huh. Right here. Oh, they're discontinued and stuff. Look at that.
picture taken with a white foot
Yeah,
on her.
there, all them.
And the fella gets older and he looks back, well, see a lot of things that you miss that you
And things old, it
Her
matches
other
that.
face.
I lost it out on one of them puzzles, I can't remember which one. Yeah, this matches that table. It's old,
George over
Las Vegas.
had
Look,
put
that-
her
Oh,
ear in
Deanna.
the large.
Of
She
course.
does all the place,
Fly,
don't she?
yeah, she flies, loves to fly.
Really?
Little
Yeah.
brother.
Remember that little blue and I
But
had?
here, what she had,
They
not
said
in
he jerked it around
Destin,
a lot.
Florida.
But
Same cousin.
and Wallace, so
How
they were
cute.
his sprinkler and
She's
had
mom, I
our
think
people
Kim
buy
James is
some
thinking about going back to Destin
Now they
on
steal
vacation again.
stuff, so they found
Well,
his
yeah,
skin
okay.
four-wheel drive disc brake, they put
For
it.
real.
She's a cow.
But the only thing is, his hubs
A little preacher man.
won't work out because it's just got the rear end.
It's a sweet.
His
Hey,
hubs
yeah,
don't
I
work,
live
so
in
they
Vega.
hard had to go back and scavenge.
He bought, which rear end went out? Front end, rear end?
It's two-wheel drive back.
Which one? Which one?
And, so,
Okay.
they didn't have no hubs or
Caitlin or Emmeline?
calipers on it when he bought the rear end. He had paid $150 in his rear end for it, off the little frame. And so, he had to go buy new calipers for it, and then turn around. The hubs dish in more than
No,
two-wheel
turns
drive,
out meant to
so
be, not
now
meant to
he's
be.
gotta buy
It's
two
truth.
Father knows
hubs
best,
to
don't
go on
he?
that four-wheel drive, cause two-wheel
That was a
drive
lot better than
wouldn't
we
work
do.
on it.
Well,
Yeah.
And, he had to miss work today. George started on it Saturday evening, I believe.
We just got all kinds of trouble.
I believe it's Saturday.
well, he'd been better off just went down there and bought him a stump for
And,
$250.
and so,
Nice truck.
he hauled it light at 4:30, but, George supposed to went and got the other caliber and is picking up two, rotaries for it. And,
John at
so-
work, Stacy?
So he had to
Yeah.
get all, he had to
It's a second
work,
shift right now.
cause he didn't get to go to work today, so he go back 2 hours or 3 to the other side of Johnson City, he's working. So,
Does Xavier sleep by himself?
He usually does and does real good, but he likes that song, Five Little Monkeys Jumping on the Bed.
Uh-huh.
So he was singing it and jumping on his bed before I called him. And I heard I was in the bathroom getting ready or doing something, and I heard something go pow. Sounded almost like a gun went off. And I went in his room and I said, "He's broke that bed. I know what he's done." And it was one of the beds from Walmart.
Yeah.
And I looked under his bed, and sure enough, that piece. It's
Flat.
not. Yeah, it just pow. Just right in the middle. I told John, I said, you're gonna have to fix it. I said, I will. So,
So the little monkey broke his bed.
yes. Little monkey didn't jump off the bed or fall off the bed. He broke
He
it.
broke the bed.
He broke the bed. He loves that song, and he'll. I heard him because I work at the school where he goes to school at, and so I looked up and I seen him, and he was hopping like a frog, like just getting down on the floor and hopping. And he was going. He'd hop twice. He'd go 1, 2, buckle my shoe. And then he'd go on and sing all of it. He went down the highway like it, hopping like a frog. And you gotta let him finish whatever he's doing, because if you don't,
Right on.
oh snap. It's just like, oof.
Yeah.
It's like that old colored boy on the Cosby Show. Remember Bill come in the door there and he had his hands fixed some way between his legs,
Oh yeah. Oh God.
bouncing like a frog,
Yeah.
and doing all kinds of stuff, dancing.
Yeah.
'Cause old Bill, he's all Bill Cosby, he's all the time going on
Yeah.
something crazy anyway. I don't know how in the world that a fella could ever get himself tangled up like that and do nothing.
I'll be stuck. Probably loose.
He must have rubber joints or
Yeah.
something other way you do all messed up. Or, I don't see how nobody get their body in mess like his in.
How old is Xavier now?
He'll be 5 the 24th.
But you went ahead and had his party.
Yeah, 'cause the and them could come.
Yeah. I don't blame you.
I told somebody, I said, it's good to have one more party, and he hadn't, no doubt, never, ever had nothing.
Yeah.
And so I thought, well, I'll go all out for, his party. I said, but I ain't gonna do it again until maybe he's 10, and I might not even do it then. 'Cause I'll have the cake and, something for the family, but I ain't gonna do it no more. I mean, not that I would care to, but,
It's expensive, ain't it?
well, it's expensive, and it's just
Yeah. Too
You know.
much trouble, ain't it?
stress.
Stress, yeah.
My nerves tore out of places the day of his
Imagine.
party. I was like, I can't get a hold of the bouncy house people. I can't get out. I called last night, left a message. I booked this about 2 months ago, and I was tore all to pieces.
Yeah.
Tore all to pieces. Maybe not 2 months, but it's been, I know, quite a few weeks.
Yeah, I don't like to be
Where'd you have it?
on the responsible end of the stick.
You have it at school
I
or
do
something?
I had
like that.
Kaywood Elementary
Oh,
in
did
the gym.
Food
That's
is
the reason
good.
I never would make my line farmer certificate.
Well, I didn't know they'd let you have it over.
Yeah, I'm telling you what, my nerves was tore out of pieces, and the party went good, everything went good, the food was good, the cake was good, everything worked, and everything went smooth, and the Lord knowed. Now, I'm not kidding, the Lord knowed I needed for it to go good, because if, throwing like a bolt into a machine and it busting,
Yeah.
I can't take it. My nerves just go to pieces. I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I was tore out to pieces. I couldn't hardly do that, and I felt like I was running around in circles.
Yeah.
And John, they didn't even let him off. He ended up having to leave early and working, so he couldn't even stay the whole time. And I was like, well, I could have had it on a Saturday, but he works 6 days a week now,
That's it.
and they're treating him like trash.
Yeah, I told him, well, you caught that fella over a barrel.
Who is that?
Where is it?
You run over my dog. He's stopping for Teddy. I'm gonna have to whoop Teddy.
I told him about the way that boss did you, and you got him over a barrel.
Teddy bear, get
And
out
I said,
here.
I'd write everything down he does.
Get back. Get your butt down
My
here.
boss give him a hard time.
Yeah.
Come out there, Bear.
It's, I don't know if it's a first, he's the superintendent on first shift or something, but John's on second. And John said it's, I don't know if he stays there a while and he tells John to do stuff and he tells the men not to help him. And, John said that superintendent didn't want him and some other men come to Virginia over to that mines. And, and he jumped on John over blocks being thrown against the side and asked him, did he do it or something? John told me. John said, you crazy? Said, I wouldn't do it because said, I'm going to have to clean it all up all the time. Somebody's thrown blocks and busted them.
Well, you gonna bust them cinder block anyway.
But
You
look
can
like,
haul, a lot of times you can haul them like in the back of a scoop or something.
Yeah.
Hit a chug hose and it'll break 2 or 3 of them.
they
You
claim
pick 'em
it's
up, they'll fall
somebody's
apart.
throwing them against a rib or something, breaking them. And he tried to claim it on John, and John said, hey, I wouldn't break them, then have to clean it up. And then John straightened up this one thing, had it cleaned up good and everything, and somebody messed it up real bad, knocked everything over or something, and he jumped on him over that, and he said, you saw it was cleaned up nice when I left here last night. And so John went over to me and over-talked him and told him about it. John come out mines on him one night, John said.
before that boy got killed at the mines, anything.
They're back to working.
Or,
They said it, the cruise ship man didn't know he hit it or something with a scoop or a car or something, tore a switch up, and they didn't have it locked out, so he wired the switch up and it wired it up wrong, and it kicked on. Cause it jerked the switch and everything out when he backed up in against it.
oh, sad.
Well, I'll tell you what,
Sounds
this old lady's
beautiful.
smart. She'll come out with millions out of that.
Yep.
This old lady will use her head. Not fool this bunch and holler and get out of town and get her a good lawyer.
Yeah.
She'll come out with millions.
Oh, see, they,
Cause it's like this right here. The first thing they gonna do is go after the repairman, man that's filling the electrical books out. They're gonna go after him. In fact, Biles ain't got electrical papers, he didn't have no business messing with that switch. He should have had a man down there that fixed it, that knows what he's doing. And the third thing, whoever was the boss and the superintendent that's over at Miles, they ought to know to have took that cat head out and locked it out.
well, see, Bubby's one post went up there and locked it out, him working on the bill. He did,
No,
he did.
no. The certified electrical fella, whoever he is, that's at that mines on that ship, so smells, went and took that cat head out and locked it till that boy done whatever he needed to do to that belt.
But they probably left it up to
Cause I know
them.
John said that every one of them's got locks, and if they're working on something, they gotta go put the red tag on it and lock it in. If there are three working on it, all three of them's gotta put their locks on it.
Yeah, but see, mining law says that you gotta be a certified in electrical before you can even unplug a cat head.
But they told them if they catch
If you
anybody,
got a man that's sitting there certified, he can let you do it,
cause I
but
know
he's gotta be sitting there watching you.
they told John and all of them said that if we catch you not locking something out now, putting your lock on it, said you're fired. Said ever who's working on it, put their lock and lock it out, some of them turn it on. And John said that they had a big meeting.
Well, that's the way it's what should have been done, done to begin with. See, that's where I got old Eddie, he stepped over the barrel out, that's all he hollered, safety first, safety first, safety first. And then he started trying to dog me around. When I stood up to him, why? I left on him. He thought I went to Middlesbrough is what he thought I'd done. Which really, that's what I should have done.
Should have seen Barb Dillman shouting Sunday.
But instead, I put him over the
That
barrel.
was good.
I'd walk in there and they'd say, well, got your fellow rock busting back our day. You need to get over it. I look at him, all I had to do is just kind of look at him like that. Right there. Well, don't worry about it. I'm not to my mother ain't got I think myself, boy, you a joke. I'd go ahead and it's my job anyway, to get my own bell heads. That's where I had them bell heads to take care of. You had to get you on rock dust over. I'll just look at him. I don't need to. Well, don't worry about it. I'll get them up.
Did Xavier get a lot at his birthday party?
He did. He got
You had to build him a playroom, Stacy.
we're done talking about it as soon as we can financially afford it. I've already,
Cause that bedroom is not really that big, is it?
no,
That one bedroom.
it's not big. And there ain't no closets in that house at all.
I
None.
can't believe that. Ain't that something?
So, you can imagine the clothes is just about everywhere. And there ain't a thing I can do about it until we build some closets.
He's rather buy ship rope to put your clothes in.
Yeah. We got one that the people that had it for us, left it and said that we could have it. But we got some clothes and it's filled up. But I mean,
Yeah.
it's a mess. But I'm gonna
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do.
fix
You
it
can
as
do
soon
what you-
as we can. But it seems like every time we start to do something, something comes up and
Yeah.
I don't know, you ain't doing that, you're doing this.
Yeah.
We had a water line bust Saturday.
Oh, God.
It was a bad one. John stepped out on the porch to go to work. When he opened the door, I heard it. I said, "What is that?" He said, "Ah, Lord, we got a water bust. A pipe's busted." He went under there and said, "Under the house full of water." He said it was
Oh,
going,
gosh.
or it was blowing like
Yeah, yeah.
like that, like
Yeah.
a hard, steady.
Yeah, on city water.
I called them today and I told them what happened, and she said, "Bring us the receipt where you bought the stuff to fix it," and she said, "We'll knock it off." Said that this
Over
money's
here,
done
they
over.
you'll pay it if it's this bunch over here.
Yeah, I know that lady pretty good. I mean, not like a lot, but I know her some. Her little girl's in the same class with Xavier.
Walk in and pull that thing down, say you take it off and your kid gets out.
Do you teach, Stacy?
I'm just, I guess, a flunky, whatever they need to do.
You do it. The aid. Like or something.
Kind of like a substitute.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's like this
So
right
you
here.
work every day?
You got these
4
coal
days a week.
operators sitting
4
around
days.
here.
Because on Fridays, Xavier's got
They're
therapy.
millionaires, got money hid everywhere. Then you got these gas companies coming through doing this, what they call fracking, where they drill them holes way down yonder. They don't just put a little bit of powder in there. They get these semis and back up to that hole and they empty that whole road in that hole. And they shoot that and they bust that rock way down and under the earth so that gas can seep up to that way. And it's destroying everything. So it is. You don't have no water table when they get done doing that. See, they stopped them from doing it there in Texas and some of them places. There comes the peel head going down the road, and I'm trying to peel again.
He's done been down through there once. Today.
What a lie.
Yeah. Yep. Old bony feller.
I'm gonna tell you what, that
Nothing
boy
but
right
skin and
there,
bone.
sharp as a tack, son. Do anything he wants to do. But
On drugs.
he'll lose just enough to get him $25, $30, get him some dope with.
Yeah.
That's it. Pitiful. And could have anything he wanted if he just straighten up.
God loves her. She's in school. And the mommy ain't worth a plug either. He's on dope.
I was as mess as it was, I've seen my life, but
Yes. Bad messes, I tell you.
and when you get around them, buddy, I need money, some money.
Yeah.
All I need to do this, I need to do that, I'm behind on bills, or blah, 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 they tell you all about what a bad jack been. And you hard to work, and it worked 2 or 3 hours. Well, I gotta run down the road, or I'll be back tomorrow.
You won't see them then.
And you're lucky if you see them next day, you know. You're blessed if you see them the next day, because usually think they'll get them enough to do them that day and next day, and they'll be back
Cursed
tomorrow.
one.
But the next day they'll show up and work 2 or 3 more hours.
Now what
That
did
boy
you
right
hear,
there.
Big Ears?
He worked with Todd Collins for a long time. He got so bad Todd, he had quit food.
Yeah.
That one?
Yeah.
That might be where I've seen him. because I was just thinking he looked awful familiar.
Yeah, that's Billy Sharp.
Yeah.
Oh, honey.
Son, he'd climb a tree. He'd be all over the top of that tree like a squirrel.
Yep.
Him with a chainsaw swinging around. He was gonna trim that tree up right there behind your vehicle on that rock right there.
Hmm.
It's a big old tree, and he trimmed it out.
Yeah. Cut trees on top of cliffs. My fingers hurt so bad. Does Kenny like working in
Or he
Virginia?
can't pass the drug test, they don't hire him in the
I
mine.
didn't have any testing.
So he can't pass the drug test. You know, that's a funny thing to me. These fellas can go to the doctor after they've got them a job. They can go to the doctor, and the doctor can prescribe them narcotics, and they can take them narcotics right on the job with them, and
Yeah.
take them, and you can't keep them from it.
Because they're prescribed.
But if you got anything in your system before they hire you, that keeps it. They can, not hire you on camera. That's all I think.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Somebody needs to make their mind up somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
'cause that ain't right.
No.
No.
And all these fellas, you would not believe some stuff them fellas does to try to hide them drugs.
There's some kind of herb that they say that they could take and it'd hide it for them to take a drug test to get a job.
Well, it's Jello, it's gelatin that you can buy and
Yeah.
it gels up. I've sure heard of them taking a pack of that and putting it in a cup of water. In 1 cup of water now. Just enough to stir it up to where you can drink it. Thin it up enough where you can drink it. And drink that stuff.
Well, Deanna said that when she was in
And it would,
she
kill the
had
drug
to
test.
do they had to come in and do a test to check them.
I'd be scared to do something like that.
Yeah.
I'd afraid that stuff gel up my kidneys or something, kill me.
She said that she told him, said, don't even try to take nothing. She said, no matter what you put in your body, she said, this is going to show up. So if you take a baby aspirin, said it's going to show up. She said, so be sure you do not you better not be doing nothing.
Well, they can take that DNA,
Mm-hmm.
they can pull one hair out of your head.
And
They go back so.
Yeah.
They can go back for years
I
and
did
years on
some.
that one hair.
how they do that?
That's wild.
Yeah.
Shows you everything that you've ever done, it's in your hair. Hi, Butter.
I
Where you
guess some
going?
fella wanted
Where
to
you
do one,
going?
just shave his head so they could get his hair.
Where you going? Where you going?
She's bad.
That's my buddy of the morning.
Don't do it. Oh, okay.
Soon as my eyeballs popped up and she knows it.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but she does.
Yeah.
She'll come over and she
What?
Oh.
Sometimes she'll do his face like
I'll
that.
sit up on the couch.
She loves him, buddy. What is it, honey? Huh?
And then she wants in my
What do you
lap.
want?
She gotta lay in my
You
lap.
can't go outside now.
I'll sit there and do my breathing medicine. Stuff like that.
Coyotes will get you. Oh, hush. What do you want? I'm not getting in the floor. I don't feel like it. Ooh,
And then when I get my Bible to read, she usually gets in my lap, lays in my
lays in his
Bible.
lap while he reads.
That's
He'll have a
sweet.
cup of coffee, his Bible, and cat in his lap.
I
Hey,
lay my Bible on the table and
buddy,
cat in my
you
lap
bite
and
me.
sit there and drink me a cup of coffee.
quit biting
Read
me.
my Bible.
That's mean. You're mean. Pit bull. What? Biting me ain't gonna get you nothing but a whooping. Yeah, you know better. Yeah. I bathed her for 2 days. She won't even look at me or have nothing to do with me. She
I'm
runs
mad
to me.
at you.
Yeah. I hate you. For a while.
She runs to me after she gets done bathing.
God, she's like a wildcat.
She won't let Diane dry her, but I'll take that towel and set her and I'll start messing with her. bottle up in that tap.
Oh, she throws a fit in my bathroom. Wow, wow. I said, go ahead, honey. It ain't gonna do you no good. I got you. You're gonna get bathed. We gotta get a bath when it gets warmed up. I want you to stick her ears up. It's so funny, you know.
Sometimes
Yeah, you
I'll
get
talk to
bad
her and
when
it's
you
just
do
like
that.
she's talking right back to
Right.
Yeah, one morning they carried on. They carried on a conversation with each other. She'll tell you. You tell her, show me what you want. She'll show you. Like a dog. I call her pit bull sometimes.
Me and Diane did
He's itching out.
a bunch of movies that we bought a while back.
Yeah.
They got a beagle on there.
Yeah, looks just
That
like
thing is
Badge.
just like Badge, acts just like Badge did and everything else. I mean, you couldn't tell a bit of difference in them.
He's much
When it
better.
lays down, its paws is kind of turned like that. That's the way Badge was.
Yeah. Twinkle toes. We call him twinkle toes.
I'd give anything for having me a video camera. Videoed him at times when he do stuff.
He's comical.
I was up there one day, went up there to holler, I was gonna go sign in a while. I got up there and holler. I got up there about halfway up the mountain. Oh, he started cutting off the shine there was on that box. I said, okay, buddy, just a second. I pulled on up to where I could get, cause there's brawlers on both sides of the road like that. And I pulled on up to them brawlers there. And I stopped, reached around there and done snapped that cage and opened the door and let him out. By buddy off that four-wheeler, he went the first thing right around the edge of that mountain he went, burned it up.
Running deers. After deers.
I went on with the four-wheeler and went on up the mountain, got up there where a slip was. I've been eyeballing that slip for a long time. And I thought I'd go up there and see if I could find anything in it. I got up there, parked my
Move out
four-wheeler
the
out,
way. What you got behind you,
got out,
girl?
put my gun belt on, put my leggings on, fixed my breeches legs and everything. Got ready, got my hoe and everything. I hollered for him 3 or 4 times, they didn't come. I stood around there 2 or 3 minutes and I said, well, I'll just go home, he can find me. When he gets here, he'll find me. I hit the side of the hill there and took up, threw around the edge of that old slip, big old slip in the mountain there. I got up on the mountain, up there a pretty good piece. There's a big old tree up there about that big around. And it uprooted and fell out in that slip, crossways of it. I thought, well, right there's me easy way. Get out there in the middle of it, see if there's anything, you know. I'd look everywhere off that log, off that tree. And that tree was probably about that high off the ground. I had to lay my thing hoe up there and then jump up and latch onto the tree and hit myself up there. I got up on that tree. I could see the four-wheeler sitting back down there, looking down through one of the trees. I could see my four-wheeler sitting there on the strip. I got fooling around there a few minutes, looking around a little bit. I looked back down there and our old Badge was. He just had come to the four-wheeler. He's going around that four-wheeler, that tail sticking straight up. Him sniffing that ground, going around that four-wheeler. He climbed up on that four-wheeler, smelled of the seat. He bounced back off that four-wheeler, and here he come back around it again. He got over and he hit the trail, but here up that hillside he come turning the mountain. He got up there at that tree. I was just standing out there in that tree watching him. He come up behind that tree and he lost my scent. He smelled around all around there, bottom of that tree and stuff, and he couldn't find the scent right there where I stopped at. Boy, he stood there for a minute, looked around, listened a little bit, and them ears stuck up in that tail, standing just like that. But he back down that mountain, he went like a streak. He went back down there to that four-wheeler. He went all around that four-wheeler and smelled all around it. Hunting, trying to hunt me out, that's what he was trying to do.
What baby?
A few minutes here he comes, went back up that mountainside, turning it apart. I standing there, I just watching him. He got up there, he smelled all around, and he lost my scent before I jumped up on that tree. So he couldn't smell me anymore before I jumped up on that tree.
Shut your
I got
mouth.
off the ground. He searched around there a few minutes, right back down that hillside, he went back that four-wheeler again, searching my trail, backtracking.
Don't do it.
He got down there, he searched all around that four-wheeler and stuff, and he climbed up on that four-wheeler. Lady Styles over the seat on that four-wheeler like that, was looking around. He thought that head back, started going, boo.
Oh,
Because he couldn't
he
find me.
cried. Then he said he's laid over at the
I let him bawl for a while, and I said, "What's wrong, you boy?" And he stood looking around. I said, "Come on, I'm up here, boy. Here he comes."
Probably
Well,
felt like that cat was to make me jump back in George's lap.
He got back up there where I was at. While he was coming up where I was going on out that tree, I hopped off that tree out that slip. I went across the end of that slip, the other part of that slip over onto the mountain, where it kind of slid down.
Yeah.
He went all the way up to the top of that slip and come all the way back
He's a
down the other
mess.
side. I'd holler at him every once in a while. He got fairly close to me there. And I said, "Well, come on, Badge." They just down there looking. And I said, "All right, then, just stay up there." And I just kept looking around down through there for sign, going back down toward the four-wheeler. Finally, he caught up with me. So when he caught up with me, me and him, we wrestled plumb to the four-wheeler.
Fight was on, wasn't it?
But after that, he never would take off too far from me. He wasn't going to fur off like he done that time.
Yeah.
Where he couldn't see you.
Because he went plumb back in the head of that holler
He
on that
learned
deer.
his
I mean, he'd have
better.
burned it up out of that deer.
He learned better.
I had him jump deer over top of me, but
Yes, I
that
did.
morning I thought he was going to kick me in the head that day up there in that
Oh.
four-wheeler with
What?
deer there.
So the coon dog is a deer dog.
He's a sight.
I've seen him tree pheasants. He put them pheasants off the ground, make them get in the tree. I could have killed, I don't know how many I put him like that. I never did kill one of them. Never did shoot a deer, I never did care for them not that much. You won't take your feet out there.
Yeah.
Almost beat me.
Get over here.
He tried back.
Get over here.
Watch it.
Yeah.
So I like to watch them, I just don't like them touching them.
Here, I'll scratch your back.
Right there in your nuts, you grab her by the foot. You bite her on the toes.
Oh, boy. You're full of it. You're full of it. What?
Mm-mm.
Watch her. Ah! Hey, you old nasty thing. You old nasty thing. A Blanco. That's enough. Whew, wore me out. Go over and get your stick. Come on. Come on, Landis. Where's she's at? She's too sorry to read.
It's kind of.
George is getting a call. No.
Just check see if we got service. I got full service here.
Oh, hey?
Yeah, they got get service over there. Little Joe.
I
You
got full
took pictures
service.
at his birthday party, Stace?
Mm-hmm.
Did you?